the world's most dangerous fantasy football podcast.
Chef and the professor. Highly disputed. Highly disputed. Let's have a drink and let's talk through it. Hey. Highly disputed. Highly disputed. Highly disputed. Highly disputed. Fantasy. We going over player props and ADP. Waiver wire, all the things you need. We got the fire. Fire, highly disputed. We in the studio, just pour a drink. We getting loose and now we in sync. It's not unusual to disagree. Highly disputed, disputed, disputed. Highly disputed. Highly disputed. Let's have a drink.
What is going on, y'all? It is week 4 of the NFL. We're wrapping it up with a Monday night double header. I am the Sauce Chef, and I am working late tonight with my guy, the professor of Dynasty, Professor J.
What's
Coming
happening?
off a big weekend. What's going on, boss?
I'm good. I'm good. Love was in the air this weekend.
Love was in the air. My man was at a wedding,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and he still won his matchup.
Against
Not only that, he beat the groom.
beat the groom.
Ruthless.
Beat him tonight, actually, in this Jets-Dolphins game. Pretty handily.
Jets-Dolphins game. Yeah, what a game. We'll get into that in a minute. Well, that's good. That's a good feeling. Nice to win your week and get to wear a tux, too.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of winning your week, looks like I'm going to win my week here against your brother. He's getting some garbage time points, but not enough to beat the Sauce Chef this week. You know, my team's putting up more points every week, and that's a really bullish indicator for me. Cheers. Cheers to 3-1.
3-1.
All right, week 3, it was a lot of ugly games, a lot of close, kind of weird games. This was a totally different week. It's any given Sunday in the NFL. I got a lot of things wrong previous episode. We'll talk about that, but let's open up with one thing I got right, which is I called the Steelers as a upset over in Dublin, and they look good. Aaron Rodgers looked dialed in. Hit DK on a big old 80-yard chunk play. Kenneth Gainwell running real strong, dropping a 30 burger on a lot of people's benches. But that was one thing we mentioned in preseason. Coaching staff's been hyping him up, and Jalen Warren's always been kind of a change of pace guy. So, and Caleb Johnson struggled. So this backfield, is all Gainwell right now. What was your take on the Vikings? I know you got a JJ share.
Yeah,
You watched this game? This is pretty fucking early.
it was early. No, so it was 6 a.m. my time. Watched the highlights.
Yeah.
My take was I'm not worried about JJ's job security like I wasn't going into the game. Carson Wentz isn't good enough, even in the KOC offense, to take that job away from him. If Sam Darnold couldn't with the year that he had, I'm not worried about Carson Wentz. I'm worried about the Vikings in the interim. Rumor has it that JJ is going to start practicing as soon as this week, right? Monday. Yeah. So as soon as this week.
Are they staying overseas?
They should.
I thought they might be playing in London next week.
They are. So they should stay over.
Yeah. So
Actually,
I
think he probably
he
traveled
did
with the
make
team.
the trip. He did make the trip. Okay.
If I'm him, though, I'm just going to sit another week and then wait to come after the bye week that they have in week 6.
Yeah, I think that's smart. I think they wait till they get back to the States.
I think they play Philly when they come back.
Carson Wentz, I think we've all seen enough tape on Carson Wentz to, guys like Sam Darnold, Geno Smith, even though Geno Smith isn't a great example, but guys who have that career arc, Carson Wentz is way past that. He's way past that. That's not happening. Jordan Mason, Steelers played tough defense, but he's a clear bell cow with Jones out. We'll talk about the guy behind him when we get into waivers a little bit. I'd be concerned if I have Hawkinson. Hawkinson kind of looks like a shell of his former self. Justin Jefferson is going to continue to be Justin Jefferson. I'd be a little worried about Jordan Addison while Carson Wentz continues to start, and Adam Thielen's droppable. Yeah, but like I thought Rodgers really embraced Ireland. He wanted to be there. He got it done. Let's keep rolling. Bucs Eagles. That was a crazy fucking game. We gave up a punt block almost immediately. Eagles got on the board, come up with a big old lead. Jalen Hurts is just running it, not designed runs, but just kind of running it right at the middle of the field on us. But then we managed a 65-yard field goal right before halftime, which was longest outdoor field goal in NFL history. So that gave us a little momentum. And then we're in catch-up mode. We're in fuck-it mode. And that's kind of where Baker thrives. Egbuka on a 77-yarder just threaded the needle between the DB and the safety, and there's just nobody near him. Hit Bucky Irving for a 72-yarder. Philadelphia had 0 passing yards against us in the second half.
And they still beat you.
And they still beat us, yeah. Not a ton of rushing yards either. Baker threw a really bad pick, and Bucky with an uncharacteristic fumble. Otherwise, I think we could have had that comeback, but we just
that pick was tipped though, right? It was a tip pass.
It was tipped on because Godwin put his hand up. Which,
he was
by
open.
the way,
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, Godwin put his hand up, and Baker. I still would like to see Baker throw it away in that situation. It's first down, but I'm gonna live and die with Baker, so I don't really care. Ball did get tipped. Godwin, obviously he was a little rusty, but he was out there the whole game. He got 10 targets. Just plug him back into your lineup. Love seeing that guy back out there. Bucky came up with a MRI after the game. Not sure what's going on there, but that might be something to monitor. And Eagles stay unbeaten at 4-0. Got anything from that game you want to?
No, you covered it.
The professor's not feeling 100%. So if I talk a little more tonight, that's why.
A game I do want to talk about, though, is the Giants and Chargers.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
So I got that one right. I think I kind of flip-flopped of whether they were going to upset them or not. But I did mention that I thought the Chargers were going to have trouble with the Giants because they have no tape on Jackson Dart. Harbaugh is a man that is very prepared, very intentional. Hard to be prepared for something you haven't seen before in that offense. And credit to Dable, he threw some stuff, some flicky, gadgety type of stuff to the tight end that the Chargers were not ready for. Unfortunate takeaway from that game is Malik Neighbors, the one player I have in every single Dynasty league, my favorite player in the league on my favorite team, had a season-ending knee injury. So he's not going to be back this year, but he is 22 years of age. So I see a full recovery for him. But yeah, it was unfortunate to get the first win and lose your best player, but that's what happened in that game.
Absolutely brutal. And, my condolences to that young man. I hope he makes a full recovery and is back on a much improved team. Love them seeing W.
Yeah,
trying the rookie out. He's got swag. He looks like a gamer. He had a quote about pressure. He's like, I don't really feel pressure. When you play at this level, it's just part of it. And that's something you say. And then if you go get your ass kicked, that's one thing. But he definitely backed it up, especially going against Justin Herbert and Jim Harbaugh. Yeah.
And the brother was playing at Ole Miss in the SEC. I mean, Ole Miss is not a world beater of a program, so he was playing at a middle of the road program that he elevated.
They're not,
and
but they did just beat.
Yeah,
they did just beat it.
Yes, but I'm talking about more so when he was there, like the LSU's, the Alabama, the Georgias. They were never on that level, but he's playing that level of talent, every Saturday. So,
well, and he was one of those guys who helped elevate Ole Miss recently, obviously with Lane Kiffin, but he definitely helped get that program where it is right now. And it's just 1 week, but looking good. Also, big shout out to the Giants defense for they've invested a lot of draft capital on the D line, and it's starting to show up.
Finally, yeah, Sexy Dexy looked good, as he always does.
Yeah. And they're getting some pressures from some other dudes. Thibodeau showed up a little bit more. It'd be good if he was more consistent.
Yeah.
So for early games, also Atlanta got right against Mariota-led Commanders. Penix had a much better game. He seems very up and down. It might be game script. They moved the offensive coordinator down to the sidelines. Apparently that was helpful. Drake London, 8 out of 10 targets. Bijan had a big game. Kyle Pitts had a big game.
Drake London looked great. He had a huge game, 20 plus fantasy points.
So it's nice to see them be able to move the ball. I think people calling for Kirk Cousins starting in Atlanta, or I don't think that's going to happen. You don't take that guy where you did to go back to Cousins. So
yeah, he was looking bad. He was resilient. So it's to your point. You don't,
and it's his 7th start.
Yeah, and the Commanders are not an easy out, even with the backup quarterback. So that tells you a lot.
Commanders hung in there. Debo had a nice game. A guy we mentioned on last week's waiver show, Luke McCaffrey, Christian's younger brother. He's looking good. And if you're in a league that counts kickoff return yards, I think he had a $175 and kickoff return yards too. So obviously we know who his older brother is. So that's a guy that if he's still available in your league, 2 weeks in a row is not a fluke here. And they're thin at wide receiver with McLaurin nursing his quad and his core. But he might be back with Daniels next week.
Yeah, I think the whole offense is going to be back. A game that we were both extremely wrong was the Texans and the Tennessee game.
Oh, yeah.
Texans beat them 26-0. Oh, yeah. Don't need to spend too much time on the game. I guess Texans got it right. Tennessee they need some juice. Yeah. Did you watch that game?
Yeah, I didn't. I did put a bet on Tennessee because I called them as an upset. I put a bet. It was in the 3rd quarter, and it was like 0-6. And I was like, okay, well, Tennessee, all they got to do is score 1 touchdown, and they're back in this. But they could not do that. Cam Ward with the quote of the week, where he's like, I'm sorry, I'm not good with the Zoomer speak. He was like, let me keep it a buck, I think. Let me keep it a buck. We're ass right now. So I understood the second part of that. They're ass right now. And I love my guy, like A.O. Mayor, but goddamn, he can't do it. He can't do the whole fucking offense by himself. Haven't really got hurt. Tony Pollard we're both low on Tony Pollard. Hopefully Tajee Spears comes back, gives them a little bit. I think that, I've been harping on Dable. I've been harping on McDaniels. Those guys go get wins. Tennessee's coach has to be the worst in the league. He's got no answers. He's yelling at the media. His rookie quarterback is acting more mature than him. And that's enough time on Tennessee, in my opinion. Let's see if the Texans can do it against an NFL team next Sunday.
Fair.
Because the best team in Tennessee plays in Knoxville.
That's fair.
Patriots absolutely destroyed the Panthers, who dropped a 30 burger on Atlanta last week, and then came out the gate, scored a touchdown, and then proceeded to just get absolutely stomped on by Drake May and the gang. Stephon Diggs had a nice little game. Travion got some more work.
Yep, scored his first touchdown.
Scored his first TD. Congrats to the Rook. Ramondre Stevenson is washed. Antonio Gibson.
He scored a TD.
Not that talented. Yeah, he scored. But, I mean, that coaching staff's going to continue to make him earn it, but it's going to get to the point where they're going to have to play him more, I think.
I agree.
Keyshawn Butte started off pretty strong this season and it's kind of fallen off a bit. Well, Drake may getting it done other ways right now, and that's kind of been his issue.
They're running it a lot more now.
Yeah.
which they should have been doing to begin with. I mean, the first couple games, Drake May was throwing 40 times. Now he's throwing I think he threw 17 times this game. They were up, for a good amount of it, but Keyshawn needs a little bit of volume, right?
He does. And it is nice for that offense to see Diggs actually kind of do more than, he's one of those guys who he probably didn't play much training camp, but he's getting warmed up right now, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Game 4, he's like, oh wait, we're actually good. He's gonna put in some effort. So it's nice to see him doing stuff. Detroit just smokes the Browns. Yeah, Detroit just keeps rolling. Buffalo beat up on the Saints. Nothing really jumping out on me on either one of those games.
Nah, the Buffalo game, let's skip over that.
I mean, it was close for a minute, then Josh Allen just took it over. We'll get into more of these, I think, as we do the waivers. But that's it for the 1:00 games. Then in the afternoon, Colts Rams. That was a really good game. That was back and forth.
Yeah,
Colts
key takeaway
could have won. Yeah, go ahead.
Key takeaway from that game. Deny Mitchell, I have in our main league, really does look the part. So I would potentially circle him as a target. Very fluid, has the hands. It's just all mental for him right now. I think he just needs the reps. I think sitting at wide receiver 4 hasn't done him any favors. He needs to be playing in the offense. Act like you've been there before. He's trying to celebrate. Allegedly, he's trying to celebrate. I'm not really. It didn't really look like a full celebration. He was just taking it and was gonna put it out, kind of to reach out. I'm not gonna knock a guy for that. It wasn't like he tried to do a flip into the end zone, but still it was a fluky turnover, and it turned the game. Then he also had an egregious holding penalty on the Jonathan Taylor touchdown. So he really, I had to say, lost them the game potentially. Who knows? Maybe they lose an OT, but he needs to get more looks.
He needs to get more looks, but that's the kind of dumb shit that's gonna bury him on the depth chart, especially when the team is competitive.
But with all that dumb stuff, he still led the team in receiving yards and had 3 targets.
There you go.
So it's he's clearly one of your better players. You kind of gotta. I'm trying to figure out a player that did a bunch of dumb stuff, but honestly, Tyreek has been like that in the past. Kadarius Toney, granted, didn't work out, but he did a lot of dumb stuff, and they continued to kind of get him the ball because of how talented he is. I wish that add AD Mitchell,
Antonio Brown.
Yeah,
but I'm not ready to put him on AB's level.
Yeah.
And plus AB didn't do that until later in his career after Vontaze Burfict.
Sorry. Yeah.
Cleaned his clock a couple times.
You gotta let them go through their growing pains a little bit. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't think he did himself any favor. You're right. Those are pretty egregious mistakes. I'm not sure, but it's also the talent is undeniable. And like you said, cream rises to the top.
Yep.
The other things can be fixed.
Cream rises to the top.
That's right. All right, let's keep going. Chiefs coming up big against the Ravens. Ravens are just having a hard time right now. Did not expect this at the beginning of the season.
It's a reset year for them.
Yeah, we both thought that Lamar was benched, but turns out hamstring injury.
Keaton Mitchell time. Keaton Mitchell time. Hey, Justice Hill looked good in garbage. If you're gonna be like, Justice Hill had a great garbage time TD, but if you watch the game, they need something more.
I'm not falling for Justice Hill again.
Yeah,
I rostered him at the end of last year because of games like that.
And then it's not likely that he's going to repeat that. And then Isaiah Likely, he didn't get a target. He was out there for 40% of the snap share.
He's working his way back from injury, but
Mark Andrews looks serviceable right now too, which is nice. But
he's not serviceable. Winning. I'm glad I got any kind of trade value for Rashad Bateman because I think he had 1 catch for 34. It's just the guy just is running cardio out there. I don't understand what his deal is. But yeah, Chiefs offense, obviously they missed Xavier Worthy. That opened some stuff up.
Did I not say this though? When you said they're done, and now they're going to get Rashee Rice back. But Xavier Worthy, let me tell you, he looks way better than I even thought I did. Once Rice comes back, bro, they are for sure in my opinion,
me
a
fire-
Super Bowl contender because like the Chargers just lost to the Giants and they were my team. The Broncos, sticking to the AFC, the Broncos, even though they're going to win tonight, they play an ugly brand of football that I think people are going to put the clamps on their offense in the playoffs. Like,
No, I'm not ready. Yeah,
it's really Bills Chiefs. I'm not sure the Chargers beat the Chiefs with at full strength.
Even though the Colts lost, I'm still putting the Colts in the top 4 to 6.
Yeah, no.
In the
Colts are top 4. Colts are top 3 probably AFC. I would put the Bills, the Chiefs, and the Colts. I'd put the Colts over the Chargers right now today. But it's close. It's close.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like I've seen Justin Herbert in the playoffs. I haven't seen Daniel Jones in the playoffs.
I have.
Except that one year.
The Giants.
Except that 1 year with the Giants.
And he beat the Vikings.
Right. So there you go. I mean, Daniel Jones could be a baller.
He's playing for his football life.
Balling.
He's playing for his football life right now. You know? Is he better than Herbert? Yeah. No, not even close. But sometimes you bet on the guy that's playing for his football life. Nice career, but his football life. Just like Baker did. You know, sometimes you got to bet on the person. And I think Daniel Jones, I'll give it to him. He's got a lot more dog than I thought he did on the Giants.
Right. And like, is he better than Herbert?
No.
It's like Herbert has the physical tools and stuff.
It's not about who's better, though. It's about who's the better team, right?
Yeah. But I'm talking like mental understanding of the game. And, it's like, I don't know how Herbert deals with protections and audibles and like nuances that become really important in the playoffs.
I think Harbaugh is going to help him with that. For me, though, the difference is because I think cerebral wise, Justin Herbert has Daniel Jones, in my opinion. Who knows? Maybe Daniel Jones picked up some stuff in Minnesota, but there's something about
Daniel Jones is a Duke. He's a Duke guy, right?
He's a Duke guy.
He came out of Duke.
But there's also like, are you gonna put
no offense to Oregon, but Duke is a little more academically rigorous.
Are you the type of guy that's gonna put their head down, get clobbered and concussed, but still dive your head into the end zone? Justin Herbert's not gonna do that. Daniel Jones will. So it's like that might win you the game.
And he's shown you at least 100 times as a Giant because that was half their game plan.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going. Jacksonville comes up with the upset against the Niners. I said something in the chat that nobody really got, but I was like, QB controversy in San Fran. Like Purdy,
he's mid.
3 turnovers.
He's mid.
Yeah, soft fumble. We talked about this. Shanahan's always loved Mac Jones.
He has, but there's some advanced statistics for Purdy without his boy. When I'm talking about his boy, boy, yeah, exactly, Kittle. He likes Kittle. He loves Kittle. Kittle's an elite player. Without Kittle, it's not the same, right?
I don't think they should have let Debo walk. I think that was disrespectful to Debo.
And he's eating right now, but I mean,
if they were gonna let somebody walk, they should have let Ayuk walk.
I don't know.
Well, we'll see if Ayuk hits the field. Now Jennings is Ricky Pearsall went out. Okay, we'll get into that. But yeah, Jacksonville. It was more kind of the Niners. I mean, Jacksonville played good defense. Trevor Lawrence is still struggling,
but they're 3-1 though.
Yeah. Fuck. Liam Cohen's got a little dog in him. You see him try to fight Salah at the end of the game?
Okay, I need to see the highlight. What happened? I didn't see that. I just saw people talking about it. Or they were asking Cohen about it, and he goes, I'll keep that internal or something.
So Salah was basically like, during the press conference, he's like, he comes from that Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan tree. They know how to legally steal signs on defense, which like I don't really know what that means because I'm not an NFL coach. I know there was a whole like sign stealing controversy at Michigan, but basically Saul was like, and he said it was legal and he was trying to do it in a way that gave him props, but it also came off as throwing a little shade. But then at the end of the game, Saul is talking to a player on Jacksonville and he sees Liam because I don't think Liam shook his hand. And
wait, the head coach didn't shake the hand of the defensive coordinator? But I didn't know that was a thing. I thought it was head coach to head coach.
It usually is, yeah.
So did they fight or no?
So No, Saleh basically said like, "Hey, Liam," or something, and he turned to him and he gets heated, and basically Liam's like, "Keep my name out your fucking mouth," kind of thing, and like he's got a guy like holding him back, and he's like getting pushed back, but he's kind of barking at Robert Saleh, who I think was trying to maybe apologize or at least give props to, but like in an actual fight, like Robert Saleh would destroy Liam Cohen.
Robert Saleh is jacked, bro.
Yeah, he looks like Xerxes from 300.
Robert
Like
Saleh, bro. Yeah.
he'd beat that ass. And Liam Cohen's a dorky Jewish guy, and as a dorky Jewish guy myself, I would not want to fight Robert Saleh. He had two of his offensive linemen right in front of him. A lot of Jaguars fans were like, "That's my coach." A lot of 49ers fans thought that was soft. Liam, we kind of miss Liam Cohen a little down here in Tampa. Our offense isn't exactly the same.
He's 3-1.
3-1.
He's 3-1. You're 3-1. So congrats to you both. The Bears game.
Yeah, Bears. That was an ugly game, but Bears survived. Ashton Genty has arrived. Geno Smith kind of sucks.
Geno's ass.
Geno's ass. At least Cam Moore just straight up said it. Geno's like,
Wait.
"This isn't me. I gotta get better." No, dude, this is you at this point. Chicago Raiders. Yeah, Geno's ass. Genty's good. Rome, O'Doomsday. He's that dude, huh?
He's
that.
a dude.
He's a dude. DeAndre Swift. I like Kyle Monunga got some action there at the end. I think he's gonna cut into his snaps a little. I think Ben Johnson wants a 1-2, but is making the rookie earn it. That was kind of a battle. Caleb had a lot of batted passes. Obviously, Crosby brought the heat, but congrats to the Bears. Find a way to get this thing to 500. And, we got a lot of faith in Caleb Williams on this podcast. We do
More than
not have a
most.
lot of faith. Yeah, we do not have a lot of faith in Geno Smith on this podcast.
No, Geno, you're a dog. You got paid twice.
Brock Bowers is, everybody was
suffering.
Everybody, I think the talent's still there, but
he's not situation proof or quarterback proof.
No, he is not.
Actually, quarterback, yes, but they clearly want to run the offense through Ashton Genty and not Brock Bowers. So hope you didn't get used to last year, bro.
Yeah. Well, they say not for long, and what have you done for me lately? All right.
My thing is, why not run it through both of them? They're both clearly elite.
Well, one you can just turn around and hand the ball to, and the other one you actually have to make a completion. But it's pick your poison because their offensive line sucks, and so does their quarterback. And hot take here, I know y'all love Pete Carroll. There's a time when octogenarians need to know when to retire.
Okay. If we're going to do the hot take thing, who's had a worse breakup between the two, Pete Carroll or Russell Wilson?
No, absolutely Russell Wilson.
What has Pete Carroll done since Russ left?
He had a couple more winning seasons in Seattle, I think. I don't know. I don't follow. You tell me.
I have to look into it. I know it took him forever to get a job. He's unemployed for a while, and Russ had a winning season with the Steelers. I thought it was a winning season with the Broncos year too, but
you gotta let Russell Wilson go, man. I'm sorry. You're Jackson Dart guy now.
No. I'm all about Dart. I'm just saying for Russ, I'm not even a Russ guy, right? I'm not a Russ guy at all. I've been very critical. I have Justin Fields in several leagues.
Right, but we both agreed that Fields probably should have started more games for the Steelers last year.
Yeah, he was on a roll, but that's not what happened. But in this case, I will disagree. I think Pete Carroll's had the worst of it. I think he just has had more opportunity for some reason. But
Pete Carroll is still coaching a team next week. Russell Wilson is now being replaced again.
That's fair.
5 weeks into the season. This isn't like Tom Brady who goes and wins the Super Bowl in Tampa, and then Bill Belichick is getting blown out at UNC.
Hey, I'm just going by what Russ said. Russ said he's not done, so we'll see.
Well, Russ also said, Broncos country, let's ride. Russ can say whatever he wants. I mean, the guy's married to Steer. Like, he's fine. Just be a backup somewhere and be chill with that. Like, being a backup's not a bad job. Who knows? You could have a Joe Flacco where he comes in at 40 and just starts for Cleveland. That's a highly disputed hot take. Watch out for Russell in Cleveland.
So here's one thing, and that I wish the NFL did is they switched the draft and the free agency and had the draft first and free agency second. So then you don't have the Kirk Cousins situation. Like the next collective bargaining agreement, they should do that. And honestly, it's better for the teams. We didn't sign a running.
No way that, but that's to protect the players who are already playing. I'm sure owners.
How is that to protect the players that are already playing?
Because then Kirk Cousins still got his back. Like, do you think the Falcons would have signed him if they would have known that Penix was going to fall to them?
Yeah, because they knew Penix was going to fall to them. Nobody thought Penix was going to go at 8. Nobody.
I mean, now, national championship.
Now, I agree with you in the sense that a team like the Vikings maybe would have kept Kirk Cousins if they didn't think that, JJ would have fell to them or whatever have you, right? But what at the end of the day, it really protects the veteran players. And I think they got to look at it like someone like Russell Wilson. Do you sign with the Giants when you see they drafted Jackson Dart in the first round? Probably not. Kirk Cousins, do you sign with the Falcons when they drafted Michael Penix? Probably not. So you go to a different team. So then instead of competing with Jackson Dart, you know who you're going to compete with? He's going to go to the Browns and compete with Joe Flacco for the Browns job, right? So there's jobs that are there and available. It's just who do you want to compete with? And I think the other thing is it's a better allocation of resources for the teams. So the real unknown is yes, the free agency, but the draft is, right. So if someone falls to you and you get a D tackle that can start day one, then then Dexter Lawrence might not be on your board for the free agency of 2027, right? You're gonna go and then allocate it to a different position. It's a better team building standpoint, in my opinion, that versus like that you draft than you do free agency, right?
Yeah,
versus doing free agency than drafting.
I disagree more with you on that one because like one thing I like about the NFL is they still have a strong players union, and like boo-hoo, Russell Wilson like can now collect his check from the bench. Like he's still getting the same amount of money. It's just he got his job. Like we're not like trying to find an opportunity for Russell Wilson to start.
Okay, I mean,
he's making his money. He's sitting on the bench. That's one of the best jobs in football.
I'll explain it differently. So it's better for team building, right? Team building, better teams in the NFL are better for the consumer, which is us, and better for fantasy football. So what do I mean? Okay, so Russell Wilson, you're not going to be competing with Jackson Dart, but you go to the Browns and compete with Joe Flacco. You don't like that? Guess what? You go to New Orleans and you go compete with Spencer Rattler. I don't even want to watch Saints games right now because Spencer Rattler's starting. If Russell Wilson was there or if Kirk Cousins was there, it'd be a better product for the league and for us as the consumer. And yeah, it would. Absolutely. If you don't think that, that's wild. No, and that's it's basically, it's like.
Well, number one, the Saints have mortgaged their cap room in such a way that
with Derek Carr,
they're still paying Derek Carr. They're probably still paying like Michael Thomas and Drew Brees.
So Kirk Cousins, no, but Russ would have taken a lesser deal to go play with good playmakers and a better opportunity for him to extend his career.
But you're assuming that Russell is going to like ball out for the Saints?
I mean, he balled out for the Giants, albeit one game. But what I'm saying is like he wouldn't have been on as a short leash. There's teams in the NFL that are so QB needy,
right?
That Russ could be starting.
He signed with New York. That was his decision
because he didn't know they're going to draft a QB in the first round and trade up for one.
Because he didn't know, because he had all these other great offers lined up.
Again, this isn't a Russ take. It's more of like a.
But so organizations do free agencies first, and then they address needs in the draft. So if the Giants signed him and still felt like they had a need at quarterback, that tells you where Russell Wilson is.
No, but it's the same way. I disagree because it's the same way you build in Dynasty. You draft for talent, right? BPA, best player available. That's what you draft.
If you're a good team.
And then you trade or go on waiver wire to fill in needs. That's how you should do it. That way you have the best players, regardless of position, on your roster.
Yeah.
Like the Eagles. The Eagles
Most
drafted best
NFL
player
teams-
available. That's
NFL teams don't do that.
except
They
the Eagles.
draft for need. Well,
Except-
successful ones do. I mean, the
Yeah.
Bucs do it.
Yeah, but
Everyone's like, why are the Bucs taking a wide receiver in the first round when they have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin?
exactly.
It's like, because
Best
that
player
dude's
available.
really good. And guess what? Both of these guys are hurt and getting old. It's a luxury to go best player available. Anyways,
It is, but it wouldn't be if they switched to free agency in the draft, in my opinion. I think, but
all right, let's just agree. Let's agree to disagree. We'll let our viewers chime in. Kind of a crazy Sunday night game. I watched parts of this. It went on for a long time.
Yeah, I fell asleep for parts and I woke back up.
And then they tied it.
Yeah,
At 40 apiece.
40-40
Scoregami. Got Matt LaFleur. I got a little Quebec Kwame, I should know. Matt LaFleur. His clock management's pretty bad. They almost lost right at the end trying to get their field goal unit out. It reminded me of when he kicked a field goal against us in the NFC Championship game when he was down 11. Like, what are you doing? Packers, yeah, they're having a little. They've lost 2.
The buyer's
Everyone's
remorse.
ready. What's up?
Buyer's remorse
For who?
for Micah. You gave up a lot
I mean, Mike,
to mortgage
he
your
got
future.
paid.
He got paid, dude.
He
But
got-
you gave up a lot in picks and a player. This is part of your window. This isn't like a, hey, this is a get right year. No, this is part of the window,
Yeah.
right? And
Well,
now
I
you have
mean,
the same record as the Bears.
He sacked Dak Prescott. But yeah, I mean, if the Packers are trying to compete for a Super Bowl this year, you got to put away the Cowboys.
Here's my thing. Are you ready?
Because, like you said, Russell Wilson just hung 450 on him, 2 weeks ago?
You ready for it?
3 weeks ago?
I think
It's-
Jordan Love is the third best QB in his division.
Remind me the quarterbacks in the division.
Jordan Love,
Actually, just rank them for me.
number 1 would be Jared Goff with Detroit. 2, I'm gonna have to put Caleb Williams with Chicago. Like, I just saw what he did to the Cowboys last week, and I saw what Jordan Love was not able to do with this herald defense and wide receiver room, right?
Okay.
So, hey, you want to blame the defense and he put up 40 and did his part?
Who's the other team in the division?
The Vikings. JJ could surpass him too. It's just we haven't, he's young. But there's a possibility by the end of the season that Jordan Love, while still being like a good quarterback, is like 4th in his division.
Is
There's
the
a good
worst
possibility.
quarterback.
Yeah.
So like
at least that being able to win the game and like being a game changer, right? I'm not calling him a game manager, but like, can you will your team to win? You got to beat the Cowboys.
Right.
You got to beat the Cowboys.
Yeah, you got to beat the Cowboys. The Cowboys also got to find a way to get a W there. What are we tying? Like, somebody's gonna win.
I'm putting on the Packers are favored. The Packers are Super Bowl favorites. Like, that's not a Super Bowl winning team.
I mean, that's a win for the Cowboys, but like, it's still a tie. Nobody wants a fucking tie.
Yeah,
I don't want a tie.
They got to change the rules for sure. For sure.
Right. But like, somebody's got to like just like grow a pair and go for a touchdown. Like, what are you doing? You play to win the game. You don't play to tie the game. But yeah, I mean, the Cowboys aren't great. We were a little wrong about George Pickens showed up. He was like, yeah, I can be a wide receiver 1. Josh Jacobs ran all over them. Back to your point about that division in quarterbacks, I put Caleb Williams over Jared Goff right now. I'd say Caleb Williams best quarterback in that division.
That's a hard take than mine. I can't do that.
I'm looking at ceiling.
Oh, ceiling, yeah, no question.
I know where Jordan or Jared Goff's ceiling is because he's at it. He's performing at a consistently high level. I just think Caleb has the ability to blow beyond that. All right, let's talk about some guys who made some noise this week. We talked about a lot of them. Dak Prescott put up a bunch of points. Patrick Mahomes got right with Xavier Worthy. Drake May making it happen with his legs and his arms. Jackson Dart coming in, same thing. Dual threat, he lost his alpha. And then shout out to Michael Penix, bouncing back. Didn't think he could consistently throw the ball in this league. And yeah, he showed he could do that. Some other fantasy studs week 4, Ashton Genty, who we've been dogging on him.
He's
We've been
arrived.
dogging on him. We got to eat crow here.
No, I mean, we weren't dogging on him like we thought he was a bad player. It was just he hadn't showed up yet, and there was going to be an adjustment in the NFL, and it was.
Yeah, it
So-
was. But now he's arrived. What's the thing in Wizard of Oz? We're not in Kansas. We're not in Boise State anymore. He's getting it done. It was nice to see him do his thing.
Yeah.
Kenneth Gainwell.
That
Who?
was a little fluky for me. Amarion
It's
Hampton.
fluky, but we were also wrong about him.
Amarion Hampton is where we actually need to eat crow, and I will eat crow here because again, Ashton Genty, I think we thought he was good. He was just starting slow. Amarion Hampton, I actually did not think was going to translate to the NFL that good, even though this is the right system for him. He just looks way better. I mean, it's crazy. It's like I was so down on him. I don't think I have him in any league, and I'm like, wow, he's going to be expensive to acquire in the future. And I'm like, I should have drafted him in some leagues but he really wasn't available. He was going like 102 most leagues. Yeah. So like when I think about
there
it,
was a reason for that, and I thought that was too high, and maybe I
still
was
think
wrong.
that's. I mean, maybe we're wrong, but it's basically yeah.
Remember that this production comes as soon as Najee Harris blows his Achilles. Like, I think Harbaugh wants 2 backs. So let's see if he maintains it. But for right now, props to the young man because we got that one wrong. Woody Marks for the Texans. I think while neither one of us roster him, I think we kind of saw this one coming. Texans needed a spark at running. You can't. I think last episode I referred to it as the corpse of Nick Chubb. So yeah, we telegraphed that one. And then Bucky Irving had a great fucking game, even though he fumbled. I think he hurt his ribs. He'll probably play through it. Dude, he's a dog. We got to come up with a different term because that's getting overused. I mean, this kid just loves to play football. Anyone else, they probably would have taken him out of the game. I'm pretty sure he broke a rib during that game and finished.
He's a psycho. He's a psycho.
He's literally insane.
So is Scatterboo.
Yeah. I love him and Jack Dart. Yeah.
They're the psychos.
I love how players are just ripping smelling salts too. they're like fuck your smelling salts, but let them rip smelling salts. Come on. And then the other dude who we were wrong about, Quinshawn Judikins, just almost 200 yards from scrimmage. The only bright spot for the Browns. Oof.
Yeah, we were wrong about him, but so were a lot of people, except for Spencer. I mean, so shout out Spencer.
Spencer didn't draft him though, did he?
No, he did not. But he said he might be RB2 in the class, which honestly, this just looks like a great RB class. I just need my guys to step up. But Amari Hampton, Quinshawn Judkins, and Ashton Genty all look really good, really good.
Yeah. So at wide receiver, fantasy studs for the week, Puka Nacua. Monster. And this is for Dynasty, just always remember Puka because everyone wants a first round pick. Like that man went for fab money in preseason.
Puka and Amon-Ra,
It's like obviously you don't chase it, but this is why I'm so comfortable giving up first round picks. It's not because I'm not engaged and not competitive, but I just feel like I can get value for free while getting a proven asset for an unknown.
Wow. Out here just giving the strategy.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's compelling strategy right there.
Fuck them picks. But I mean that's how I play the game. I feel like if you're in Dynasty League, you need to develop your style of how you play. I'm very aggressive. I'm not saying that's something you can model or copy, but you need to have an identity.
Gotta have an identity. I've seen many teams that have an identity that just keep their picks, don't trade their players, and kind of just try to get better over time. It doesn't work like that. You gotta know when your window is, when your year is, when your moment is. You gotta go for it.
Right. And my window is every week.
I mean, we are both 3-1 in our main league, so shout out that.
Right.
Shout out that, and we rate ourselves playoff teams, but they didn't listen. They gotta listen to the podcast, right? Gotta listen. You want to be 3-1? You gotta listen to the podcast. Come on.
It's all good.
It's all good.
Everybody in that league knows what my win percentage is historically. I mean, obviously you inherited you inherited an orphan team and had to go through a rebuild and you did your thing. But I'm right up there in terms of win percentage.
Of course. Who are your top waiver wire picks?
Quarterback, especially if you're in a deeper league, there's not, and I'm talking specifically Dynasty, not redraft.
So for
Jackson
waivers,
Dart.
yeah, Jackson
Jackson Dart, he's going to be rostered in Dynasty.
He won't be in redraft.
You can get him in a redraft. I play in a redraft league, and there's tons of guys who are available.
That's true.
That would never be available in a 2 super flex. So for our Dynasty guys, like if you need a quarterback, go grab Andy Dalton. And I know that's like not a sexy thing to say. Like nobody wants to hear that. Andy Dalton's probably going to play this year. Cooper Rush, you might want to grab. I don't know what's going on with Lamar's hammy. Maybe they're being precautionary, maybe they're not. Again, if it's a deep league and he gets spot start at quarterback, there's literally nobody out there. So if you get Cooper Rush, who, was serviceable for the Cowboys a couple of years ago.
Okay.
Carson Wentz probably don't want, but he's probably got one more week. Running the helm. And then, Tua got the win tonight, but if you're weak at quarterback, and it's just a matter of time before Zach Wilson is starting for Miami.
And this is unleashed.
Hopefully he's unleashed. Speaking of unleashed, let me just take a second to Darren Waller.
Yeah. Talk to him.
Season debut, fucking 2 touchdowns, running circles around. Spent $158 fab on him and dropped him. And then I picked him up for 2 because Mike McDaniels is saying all this shit. He's like, he might not ever play for us. Mike McDaniels is a weirdo, but I think that was just him like getting back into football shape. Whatever that was, that gave that offense a spark. And that man has been like, that's a sauce guy. Like, don't bet against people who have been through trauma and addiction and turmoil. Those are the guys who are cool. I'm playing a game for a living. That's cool. Catching this ball is way easier than kicking heroin.
Yeah.
So, and Tyreek went down hard, probably out for the season.
Dislocated knee for
couldn't, and I never root for injury for anybody, but couldn't have happened to a nicer dude. We had Darren Waller. I am the walrus. All right, waiver wires. So not much at quarterback. Obviously, for running back, Woody Marks is number 1 for Houston. If he's available in your league, which he shouldn't be, you gotta grab him. Would you agree?
Yeah, we got him load.
The other guy, Xavier Scott for Minnesota. He played receiver at Maine. Played a little professional ball up in Canada. Made a sick catch in the end zone. He's going to take on that Aaron Jones role. I'm not saying he's going to take Jordan Mason's workload, but I think they're going to rotate this dude in. And most people probably haven't even heard of him. So Xavier Scott is worth an ad in Dynasty at running back. I know a lot of people aren't watching the Saints, but Keandre Miller is starting to cut into Kamara's playing time. And Kamara's starting to get Kamara's over it, in my opinion. He's taking some hard hits on a bad team. And I think, Dennis Allen isn't there anymore. Dennis Allen just hated Keandre Miller for whatever reason. But you and I both liked him coming out of TCU. We flipped him back and forth. He had a big game, picking up some slack for Kamara. And if he's available, go get him. Then I got Rashad White, Sean Tucker, and in Bucky's MRI. As we said earlier, Bucky Irving's insane, and I don't really see him missing time. But speculative grab. Rashad White, going to be a free agent next year. If you're playing Dynasty and you're thinking a year ahead, he could be a guy for another team. next year. And then your dude, Emmanuel Wilson, got some work for Josh Jacobs.
Right after I dropped him, yeah, he's someone you gotta hold on to. Like they run the ball over there. It's
Right.
like Green Bay backfield, you
mean,
just gotta be invested.
would you have dropped him and taken an L to me last like you're still confident in your decision?
I am, but I'm wondering. Yeah, I'm wondering who else I should have dropped. But no, I'm still good in my decision because like I needed a win.
You got a good roster then. And then Rashard Smith for the Chiefs. You know, he's likely rostered in Dynasty, but I think he's only around 50%. He showed a lot of juice. Pacheco showed some juice too, but I like Rashard Smith for Kansas City.
Yeah, he showed some juice. We'll see what happens with that backfield moving forward.
They're gonna go with the hot hand, and it's wide open.
Pacheco's pretty hot. Okay, I would say Pacheco's, is maybe a buy low. Yeah,
Your guy, but for a waiver show, if Rashard Smith is available,
absolutely. Oh yeah. I'm biased.
I mean,
for Pacheco, you're right.
man. All right, wide receiver. We talked about Luke McCaffrey. I go grab Luke McCaffrey.
Yeah, I'd also grab Darius Slayton for the Giants. Malik Neighbors is out for the season.
With Neighbors going out.
Yeah, because like it's Wandell does not play the role Malik played. Wandell is a slot merchant. He's his own player. So like there's a lot of targets up for grab. I don't really believe in the tight end like that for the Giants.
I did put Theo Johnson on there.
Yeah.
Because he got a little work for the tight end position.
And he'll continue to get some. I feel more comfortable with Slayton as far as volume. And then Skyler was honestly gonna go up.
Who else is an outside receiver for them?
Jalen Hyatt, who doesn't get any playing time, hasn't for the past year and a half. But he's an
rounder?
Third round pick. He is highly he had a high pedigree coming out.
Okay. Somebody who we called out last week, but just reminder, Parker Washington. Brian Thomas still has the yips. Like, this kid's playing his way into Liam Cohen is not afraid. He doesn't care what your name is. He doesn't care what you did for the last organization. He's going to play the guys who show up. So Parker Washington getting it done in Jacksonville, he should be on your radar. I put Kendrick Bourne on here just because Ricky Pearsall went out and Juwan Jennings banged up. There's have literally nobody. So it's Kendrick Bourne and Demarcus Robinson plus like whatever 5th round draft picks. It's rough in San Francisco.
So Henry Ruggs.
Got a wide receiver for me?
Yeah, Henry Ruggs.
What?
Henry Ruggs.
Is this breaking? Are you breaking something? Did something just break?
He's set to try out for the Giants. Let me make sure this is actually legit. Tomorrow, I believe.
Henry Ruggs. There's no way he plays football again. He killed somebody.
Okay, no, that was a fake news article. He's Twitter, so he's trending on Sleep right now. Do not pick him up because apparently he's not supposed to be released until next year.
You know who the number one player on Sleeper is right now? Darren Waller.
As he should be.
I am the Walrus. Cuckoo, Kachoo.
That was a great pickup. So an actual pickup, because again, I think the Henry Ruggs thing is a satire, would be Isaiah Davis because there was an injury to Braylon Allen to his knee, I believe, knee or ankle in today's game.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So I'll pick him up.
Another guy, wide receiver, if he's available in your league, Isaiah Bond for Cleveland. Cedric Tillman went down. Looks like he's about 70% rostered. That might be a little harder. Really quickly at tight end, I have Darren Waller on here, but
oh really? We didn't know.
Yeah, well, I didn't know. I wrote this before he caught 2 touchdowns tonight. Tommy Tremble and Mitchell Evans down in Carolina. So Javonte Sanders is hurt, and he was pretty much the starter. Tommy Tremble, I would say, is more experienced but less talented. And then Mitchell Evans is a rookie out of, I believe, Iowa, which Iowa tight ends usually good. The only problem is I just don't have a lot of faith in the Carolina offense. But Tremble caught a touchdown right off the bat. I think Evans got a touchdown in garbage time with Xavier Legette out and Tet a little banged up and Hunter Renfrow being a jag. They're going to go 2 tight end. It's worth a shot. Tight end's tough. Cole Kmet's on there.
Yeah.
Colson Loveland's been banged up. He didn't have a great game, but he had 9 targets. He had 9 targets from Caleb. And he's the only one. Like Loveland's gonna be out for a bit. He's the vet. Loveland is not Tyler Warren. He's gonna need a few years to marinate. If you need a guy for like 2 more weeks, Jake Tungus for the Niners. He's playing that Kittle role pretty well. Like you said, Purdy's only looking for tight ends. He doesn't really know how to get the ball to a wide receiver without putting him in the hospital or dumping it off to McCaffrey, which I hope he doesn't put in the hospital. And then I threw Theo Johnson on there too because I feel like somebody's got to pick up some passing work in New York.
Yeah, it's gonna be committee for sure. Malika's getting like 10 targets a game. 10 to 15 targets a game.
Theo, do you know anything about Theo Johnson? Yeah, does he have draft pedigree? Is he?
All I know is he went to Penn State, which pumps out tight ends like no other.
Well, like, is he a second or third, or is he a late round?
I think he's a fourth. Let me check.
Okay, so he's mid.
Not necessarily but yeah, I guess. But it's
mid draft capital.
Yeah, it's a great tight end program though because they pumped out Tyler Warren, obviously, most recently, Brenton Strange, Theo Johnson. They're like, Brenton Strange looks really good this year, so, they're a good program, good tight end program.
The Jags are doing a lot of 2 tight ends too, and if you're super desperate, you could go with Hunter Long because he's getting enough looks. We talked about this. I was like, 12 personnel, 2 tight end is gonna get. They're gonna roll it out more this year. And then your guy Mason Taylor in New York, obviously he's probably drafted in Dynasty, but he got some work this evening.
He did.
All right, let's wrap it up real quick. I know you're not feeling too well. Price check on a couple guys for me. Are you trying to buy Caleb Johnson right now for the Steelers? Or are you selling him? Or are you holding? Buy, sell, hold.
He's a hold because he's at his absolute.
He's at his lowest.
But so if I had him, I'd be holding. If I didn't have him, I'd be trying to acquire him. Yes.
I put him as a buy low because I don't think you can buy him any lower.
Yeah. What would you send to actually legitimately get it done?
Well, I don't know because I'm out of ammunition.
Caleb Johnson or Tajay Spears? It's
a common problem in Florida to be out of ammunition. I would keep Tajay Spears.
Caleb Johnson or I guess you don't care about picks, or a third.
Next year's third?
Mm-hmm.
I'd send a next year's third for Caleb Johnson.
Okay.
If I have one. I like stuff like that. So, like, one guy we haven't talked about, but I bought Quentin Johnson after his rookie year for a 2nd round pick. Spencer sent me that. I even proposed that trade.
What a great trade for you, by the way. All time heist now.
And now that he's got the coaching, and I really think Keenan Allen's mentoring him up.
I agree.
The greats, they want to leave it. They want to pass it down to like Mike Evans, the way he's coaching up a Mecca. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The really good ones want to leave a legacy. And then buy low, I have Brian Thomas Jr. with a question mark. I just don't see anybody in Jacksonville who wants to, like, who's coaching him up. Like, he's wide receiver 1 based off his rookie year.
Nobody's coaching him. They need a veteran in that room. They do. They
do.
They need like a D-Hop.
Yeah, well, I don't know about D-Hop, but they need somebody. No, so they have Hunter and they have Brian Thomas and they have Parker Washington. Like, they have a good receiving core, but there's no
veteran.
There's no vet there. Yeah, and that's important. Would you try to buy Brian Thomas right now in Dynasty?
Yeah, no question.
Yes?
It's about who you'd send, though.
What? Yeah, you're not sending it first.
No, not right now. He's too risky. I would. You know what I would send? I'd send AJ Brown straight
That's
up.
another guy. What's he doing? He's tweeting.
He should be
tweeting out
tweeting.
some weird shit.
They're not throwing him
should
the
be
ball.
Well, yeah. I mean, but like, what? You're 4-0.
That's true. You're trying to go win
That's
a
the
Super
weird
Bowl.
thing. Like, you're 4-0, dude. Like, it's not about you. You got to rank. Like, I mean, obviously, like fantasy people. Like, yes,
When they need you, they'll use you.
but also 0 yards in the passing game for the second half against the Buccaneers.
Well, you guys,
We
they
still
won.
lost the game, but that's not a good indicator.
Really? I think the opposite. I think it means they'll do whatever it takes to win the game.
Well, they will do whatever it takes because they ran the friggin' punt out of the end zone to take a safety to run the clock out. I hate the Eagles. I fucking hate the Eagles. I hope we see them again.
Sounds like they got good coaching to me.
What do you think? You got any concern for Sam Laporta?
Too many mouths to feed, game by
Yeah,
game. They got too many mouths to feed.
yeah.
Amon-Ra, Gibbs, J-Mo,
Yeah, I don't think that
Tesla.
production first year with Tesla.
they got a lot.
I gotta add him to one of your guys. Yeah, he's gonna be one of your guys on the website. Tesla. We're gonna see more of him.
Yeah, love Tesla.
Let's see how did the Broncos game end. Broncos 28-3. So I said bet on Cincinnati. You know, for the next episode, I'm gonna do some reflecting. Shana Tova to the Jews out there. Yom Kippur is coming up. I need to get my money line. I gave you all some bad advice this week, but I'm not gonna do it twice in a row. We're gonna wrap this one up. Professor's not feeling too hot. He's gotta get some rest. But you know, we both got a W. We hope you did too.
Got a W.
And yeah, we'll be doing our homework this week and getting some content out. Win your week, win your league, get your guy. Always a pleasure.
You too, brother. Peace.
Cheers, bro.
Cheers.
Highly disputed. Highly disputed. Let's have a drink and let's talk through it. Hey. Highly disputed. Highly disputed.